What's up, everybody? Michael here.
And Lindsay, hi.
With Games Done Right. And this is it. We made it. This is the climax of the greatest story ever told. Ocarina of Time. We have escalated up Ganondorf's tower, and we walk into this absurd scene, and he's got our girl trapped in a pink rupee.
Wonder what that's worth.
You can't afford it. We can't afford it.
We can't afford it.
And the story's really coming together here. We have Link, who just got the Triforce of Courage, or at least realized that it's within him. Zelda with the Triforce of Wisdom. And what's left?
Power?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. The Triforce parts are resonating and finally combining. I mean, it's what Ganondorf's been trying to do for 7 years. Because he couldn't hang on to them. Once an evil person touches the Triforce, it splits into 3 parts, as I mentioned. And here he is. He finally lured us in. I love that line. And there's the Triforce of Power. And it's crazy because you're thinking in this moment like, okay, obviously I'm frozen. What am I going to do about this? And Navi's like, peace, dude. Good luck. It's just finally culminated to this. And luckily we have the big round sword, which is nice.
He can fly?
He can pretty much do whatever he wants. He has the Triforce of Power. Yeah. And oh my god, I cannot tell you how much easier this sequence is with the big round sword. So once you damage him, shoot him with a light arrow, lock onto him because it's a tough jump, and just hookshot to him. And just whack away. Quick getaway is a hookshot to the wall. And that's how you're gonna attack this guy. We already got some practice with Phantom Ganon in the Forest Temple. Whew, I almost got hit there. I say it's easier because if you have the Master Sword, it's a lot shorter, and you have to let the orb get a lot closer to you before you swing it.
I don't want that.
I mean, it's like Timing City in this guy. I mean, like, what other story builds up to this? Like, sure, you meet the guy and he challenges you, but you have to climb up his tower. Like, this is the greatest storytelling right here, where you're
from a kid to an adult.
Exactly. You had no weapons, now you have all the weapons, and you're just like, dude, let's go. I'm ready now. I hope you enjoyed those 7 years. And I kind of luck out here because he doesn't ask too much of this volleying. He only hits back like a few times. In several playthroughs, he'll do it like 8, 9, 10 plus times where you have to get that timing right. So it can be pretty difficult. And when he does this, you send it back with interest. Just charge up. Charge up. Let go. He's stunned again, hit him with that light arrow. So when he does that, you can also hit him with a light arrow as he's charging, but that's like a tenth as cool than sending 5 of his things back at him. So just keep at this, sending him back to him, and hookshotting him, hitting him with the light arrows when he's stunned right here. And you'll be on your way. Alright, keep an eye out for this. Look at this red blood. You've never seen it like this. And the 3D version, other versions, it's always green. But here, that's graphic. I don't know
E
if that's...
for everyone.
I don't think so. E for exclude children. And I don't know, this is like such sick gaming. Like, you just did all this stuff, you have this dope music in the background, and like the castle falls down around you, and you're like, dude, I did it. Now, where's my princess? Ahí está.
In the money.
And I love how like condescending she is here. But it's actually not over. You're
It's
learning.
never that easy.
No, never. And like, there aren't, up until this point, right, in the 90s, not all bosses had like second attacks or several phases. You just kind of kill them and then they're dead. And now you're having to escape the tower that you just spent like what, 2-4 hours of playtime climbing up, and now you have to get down in 3 minutes.
You can't just leave Zelda behind.
No.
She won't let you.
No, she kind of blocks your path a lot of the ways. And how about this sound effect? I mean, that I'm here till the end. Until she finishes, I'm there. So that was the room that we took just to get to Ganondorf. That was the room right before. Watch this sick jump. Not that one.
That was pretty sick.
No, she can float though. She kind of floats along. I don't know. I like this process where you're following her. I think Nintendo wants you to, yes, quote unquote, follow her to safety, but aren't you more guiding her, like escorting her?
I feel that way. Yeah, I don't want to leave her behind, but
Right.
she's leading you out.
Sick jump. Kinda, yeah, I mean,
Well, you need her to open those gates.
exactly. And you actually see those as you're scaling. Oh yeah, and those things definitely can hurt you. Those are all real live rocks.
That is a nice boulder.
Interesting, the room we just walked into, that door that led us there, that walkway, is also in the Great Deku Tree, inside the Great Deku Tree, so speedrunners know a glitch to access that entryway to bring you right here, inside the Great Deku Tree.
You basically skip the whole game.
The entire game, and you can beat the whole game in like 17 minutes. And so here she's telling you, yeah, that the tower is collapsing, so GTFO. That's not going to happen here. I don't do speedruns, but someone else's channel has that. And a minute 50 seconds, this thing is falling apart. And she's trying to get out alive. I feel like there's a little bit of alludence here to Breath of the Wild where she's in here and she's escaping with you, but in Breath of the Wild she's in there, like trying to hold Calamity Ganon inside the cells, or inside the castle.
For 100 years.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of similarities there. And I always try and get through this run with more than a minute left. Oh, dude, I hate him.
No.
I hate him. Why now? Why now? Dude, I really thought that thing was gonna eat me.
Hurry up, Zelda.
Let's go. So I have 12 seconds left. I don't know if I'm gonna make the under a minute mark. She's moving kind of slow. Woo!
Yeah. That would have been her fault if you didn't.
Yeah, I agree. So there you go. That's beating Ganondorf, and that's escaping his second wind of collapsing the tower on you. And like, I don't know, Super Mario World, is that the other game where when you beat a castle, it falls down? Collapses? But what other game does this happen? There's like zero. So it's just like pretty amorous what they did here with like the grandiose of it collapsing and you destroying Ganon and Ganondorf. Did I just spoil it? So that's it. I remember playing through this and I'm just like, oh my god, it's finally over.
Just
Because
as relieved as Link.
I'm serious. That's the first time he smiles in the whole game right there. But not at long last. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a dude, but like that move where he like puts his arm in front of Zelda, like what a paternal person does to their child, like in a vehicle. I think that's cool. I know that's stupid, but maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think that's sick. He just wants to protect her.
You did that when that car almost hit me.
I did do that. And no, it's not over yet. So, I don't know. It's like, it wasn't his final breath collapsing the castle around you. This is probably it. And dude, what is sicker? Tell me. I want you guys actually to tell me if there is something sicker in a video game than you fighting a behemoth like this without the weapon which is meant to kill it, with an audience / cheerleader / a princess cheering you on. Look at this thing, like, come on. I know I'm kind of blowing it out of proportion, but this is... And think about this. You had a side-scrolling video game before this. You had Sonic the Hedgehog before this. Like, what are you experiencing here? And the music is dope, and you got the light arrows. I have big round sword here.
So why do you choose the big round sword for this part?
So, I mean, it's quite a long quest to get, but it does double the damage of the Master Sword. And it's easier to use than a Megaton Hammer. And look at Navi, she's like, I have no idea. Good luck with this guy. So just use light arrows in his nose, and then attack his tail. That's how you're going to damage this guy. And just try and stay alive. Like, I don't know, the music is so sick, and the guy's freaking enormous. And I mean, without light arrows, without magic, without the blessings that you got from Zelda, and like, there's no way you could hurt this guy. Like, that's how BA he is. And that's like how chosen you are, I guess. Like, there's two sides to that coin.
Yeah.
No one else can hit this dude. No one else could stop him but you. And yeah, like I said, what other game has this dynamic where the person you're trying to save is right behind you? Not like trying to save the world or you're trying to save, you know, the city. Like, no, Zelda's right there. She's like, about it. I'm about it. Yeah, and I mean, you're surrounded by fire and stuff. There's lightning striking behind you. It's just like you versus this like demon-possessed god, Ganon. Who currently is not looking so hot. And then Zelda's like, yo, he's down.
Come switch to the smaller sword.
Size doesn't matter. We talked about this. Zelda says use the Master Sword. Destroy Ganon with the sacred blade. That's what it's about. So take a few misses, like I did here. And now he starts like charging you, dude. Look at this fool. He's like,
That's scary.
dude, and all you can see are his eyes. And he just like wrecks this stuff in front of you. Just keep moving towards him. Eventually you'll down the second time. The Master Sword goes a lot faster.
Yeah, she's helping.
Yeah, Zelda can do something. Not so innocent. Alright, now, dude, you know it's go time now. Sword shines in other games, so this is the first time here. Where do we stick him?
Face.
That red blood, dude. This is gory. Gory. E for explicit. Dude, he's just like raging. Dude, that's just like so sick. And then you like call upon like these other sages, all 6 of them. And you're just like, if there's a time, it's right now. The void of the evil realm. Darunia, Ruta, Nabura, Impa, Saria, Raru.
All your girlfriends.
Girlfriends 3.0. 4.0. No, you know who's not here? Is Milan. I don't know. Yo, community. What is it with the Milan Link ship? I just learned what that word ship was like a couple of weeks ago. I told Lindsay, I was like, yo, we should ship. It was smoother than that, but either way, what is that dynamic, the Milan Link thing? I don't know. I mean, sure. And here, Ganondorf is just raging. I actually remember... Mom, do you remember seeing this part with me? I was excited to show you the end of this game, and you were like, I don't like this game. It says curse you. And Michael, because I used Michael as my name.
Oh.
And then that part where it says, as soon as the sacred realm is open, that's when I'll curse your descendants. I think there's way more than just a sentence to that. I mean, it's smart that it was a way for them to bridge all the games together. And I mean, you talk about Twilight Princess. That's obviously a direct descendant of this game with the Stalfos guy who you meet who teaches you things. He was the, you know, dead hero of time of the past. I just think it's so smart for them to have put that in there. And this is literally, I'm going to try not to cry here, like the saddest thing in anything. not just games. It's like Link did all this, not just for Hyrule, but for Zelda. Like, you can't tell me that Zelda Link are not as good of a ship as Milan and Link. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. And she's like super regretful and sad that she had to do it, but like in a sense she had to do it, like for Hyrule. And like Link kind of knows the same thing, like, I know I had to do it, but I didn't get you and I didn't get anyone. I just have to go back and restart like nothing happened. And so I think in addition to handing the ocarina over, he's handing over everything he's done. It's like the past 7 years and all the temples that he beat and all the triumphs that he has and everything that he's earned, respect from everyone, it was all for naught. Because as soon as he goes back, everybody forgets him. He has no one, he's done nothing, and yet he has these memories of this like torture really that he went through.
But he has a future, whereas if he hadn't saved the world, there would be no future.
That's true, but it's a future as a norm.
Yeah.
He's not a hero in that future.
Yeah.
And you can tell how sad Zelda was having to do that. It's almost like she knew beforehand that that's what the timeline was. Like, thank you. That's it. Thanks for giving up your childhood, for giving up your adolescent years, for doing all this as an adult. And we're going to skip through all the credits here, quick to style. There's still more, so stay tuned. Like, he gives up all that, and he, gets hurt, and he loses friends, and all 4 of his girlfriends, like a bunch of his girlfriends become sages, and who he'll never see again. Even Saria was like, we can't be together, but I'll be with you in some way as a sage.
That's not the same.
No. That's like having a long distance relationship for us. Like before Skype and, FaceTime and all that stuff. You're like writing. Gone. Like writing pen pals, basically. And it's just, I don't know. It honestly, like, I'm going to admit it. I've cried through the end of this game. It's super emotional, super sad. I don't know, maybe from the perspective of Link, it's just tough to take in that it was all for everything, but also it was all for naught. That's kind of how time travel goes. So, yeah. In your absence, people get together and now realizing that everything's good to go. This is present day.
They're so happy.
They're so drunk. See those red noses? Is mine red right now? It's really cool to see all these characters because...
It's like I'm wearing pants.
I mean, technically, Link's wearing pants in this game, but they're like the spandex.
Oh, yeah.
That person in the middle, you didn't really see in this gameplay, but he's in the Haunted Wasteland. There's Milan. That's the ship. That's the one.
Is it just because she's so normal? They could just live out their normal lives. No drama.
I think they're going for like a Pam Beasley thing from The Office with like the red hair. Like, I don't know. We watch a lot of The Office, so.
We do.
So this part's interesting to me because I just learned that these two aren't being excluded because they're the king and a bully. I always thought Mido was being excluded because he's a DB, But really, someone informed me on a Facebook group that they're mourning. They're actually sad because Ruta is gone and Sari is gone. But whoever that person was, I don't know how well that holds up, because if this is the past, we've returned to the previous day, they're not gone. They're there.
Time travel.
Time travel. But I don't know. The fact that they're all sages here means that it wasn't in the past, so I kind of just disproved myself there. So maybe they are sad that they're gone. Maybe it just is a lesson. This is what I always thought. I always thought that it was a lesson that being powerful and or being a bully doesn't necessarily get you popularity or friends, or even personality to be liked. So you pick. I don't know. Whatever fits your situation better. And oh my god, this is like the hardest part to absorb of all of them. Here you are, looking at yourself like, okay, I'm a kid again. Come on. Whenever you travel back to a kid, don't you hate it? You're like, oh my god, all I have is a boomerang and a slingshot now. And your best friend, the one who stuck by your side.
No?
So now you truly are alone.
Boy without a fairy.
You're... Yes! You are the boy without a fairy. The boy without a purpose. The boy without a calling. I guess there's beauty in normalcy. Alright, so if you made it this far, congratulations. I have one more Easter egg insightful spot for you. At the end of Breath of the Wild, spoiler alert, Zelda turns to you and says, Link, do you really remember me? In that accent. And in this game, Link is approaching Zelda. And she looks at him not like she looked at him in the playthrough. Go ahead and look. I have the video when you meet her the first time. She doesn't look at you like, oh my gosh, who's this stranger? She looks at you like, oh my god, isn't there familiarity in that look?
Definitely.
And I feel like in this game, Link is looking at Zelda, asking Zelda, do you really remember me?